Right off the bat, Google's geofence warrants. Talk about a privacy headache. They're basically saying, hey, we know where you were, even if you weren't actively sharing it. Yeah, that's some serious location tracking. And the FBI just pulling that data out of thin air for an arson case. Creepy, makes you wonder what else they're doing. Exactly, and then you look at app permissions. Look at these numbers from MIUI, location requests every 23 seconds.
Seriously? What are they doing? It's wild. Thousands of times a day for location, album access, background starts. It's like apps are constantly poking around. And clipboard access? 400, 0 apps. That's basically a free-for-all. New totally. It's not just one weird app, it's the pattern. Flashlight needing location? Bookstore needing contacts? Even flashlight apps asking for the camera. It's like they're collecting everything under the sun. Nan, it's the classic bait and switch. You install something simple, and bam. You've given them your whole life. Location, contacts, photos, device ID, the usual suspects. Users are basically handing over their digital souls without blinking.
So, what can we actually do? It feels like we're drowning in data requests. Nan, first, the basics. Don't just toss your old receipts or train tickets in the bin. Those little slips have your name, address, phone number, gold dust for identity thieves. Shred them. Good point, and online it's all about playing it cool. When signing up for stuff, only give them what they absolutely need. Minimalism is key. Exactly. And stay away from sketchy links, especially those free face swap apps floating around. Sounds fun, but it's probably a trap. New, totally. Clicking on a random link for a cool filter? Might be a Trojan horse waiting to steal your info. Always double check, folks.
Okay, shifting gears to something straight out of a spy movie. Black Hat Asia 2021, they showed this little seal bug tech. New little seal bug? Sounds ominous. What's the deal? Imagine pointing a telescope with a special sensor at a shiny object in a window, maybe a metal trash can, a Rubik's Cube. New. Okay, so you're looking at a trash can through a telescope? Yep. And they can detect tiny vibrations on its surface caused by sound waves inside the room. Then, using fancy math, they convert those vibrations back into sound, eavesdropping through a window.
Whoa. Like Minority Report, but for spies.
And the name Little Seal Bug? That's a cheeky nod to the Great Seal Bug, right? Precisely, paying homage to Cold War espionage. Pretty clever, though slightly unsettling.
So, how well does this actually work?
Can they hear whispers across town? Not quite whispers across town, but impressive. With top-notch gear, they could get clear audio from about 35 meters away, assuming the voice was reasonably loud and the object was close enough. New. Okay, 35 meters. Still pretty far. What can we do about it? For wireless bugs, it's easier. Find the signal, jam it, or trace it. But for this optical stuff, it gets tricky. You can try angling your windows to bounce the light off, use thicker glass, or even stick noise-making gadgets near the window to mask the vibrations. New noise-canceling windows. Sounds like something out of Star Trek. What about the EM radiation kind? For that, shielding glass is your best bet. It blocks the electromagnetic waves. Basically, you need a multi-layered defense. No single solution fits all.
Alright, let's talk games. Remember that sheep game everyone obsessed over?
Apparently, it was also a magnet for cyber attacks. Nan, oh yeah, that game. It was everywhere. And popularity is a double-edged sword. The more people play, the bigger the target. New, exactly. It became prime real estate for attackers. What kind of attacks were they seeing? Mostly DDoS attacks trying to knock the servers offline. You get the usual suspects. Competitors wanting to sabotage, script kiddies showing off, and professional groups just looking for a juicy target. New makes sense. Competitors might want to disrupt, but why would script kiddies bother? Maybe they just wanted to cause chaos, or perhaps they were using bots to farm wins themselves, which ironically could contribute to server overload. It's a messy mix.
And the game itself was super hard, right? So, what did players do?
Cheat. Of course. People get desperate when they're stuck. They started using cheat tools, modifying the game's rules. New. Like what? Making lives infinite? Pretty much. Instead of one tool used per round, they'd make it 2, 3, or even infinite. Same with the card shuffling. Instead of just reshuffling, they could force it until they got the perfect cards. New. Wow. That's basically rewriting the game on the fly. Increasing the card slot size too? Yep. They were breaking the fundamental logic of the game to achieve instant success. It's not just cheating, it's game breaking.
Cheating isn't new, right?
We had cheat codes back in the day. Absolutely. Games like Kingsoft Yoxia or Shenzhen Qiajuan had their own cheat menus, but the danger level has ramped up. New. How so? Because these cheat tools are often bundled with malware. Hackers know players want that easy win, that instant gratification. New. So, clicking that cheat button could install a Trojan? Exactly. And it's not just about stealing game coins or vouchers anymore. They can grab your personal info, bank details, anything. It's a massive risk disguised as a shortcut. Okay, so thinking about this whole sheep game mess, you mentioned your three bodies framework. How does that fit in? Good question. In the context of the game, the subject is the player actively using the cheat software. They're initiating the action. New. Right. The person clicking the cheat button. Nan. The object is the security event itself, the compromised account, the stolen data, the disruption caused by the DDoS or the cheat itself. It's the thing being affected. New. Got it. And the entity? That's the underlying program or game code itself. The attackers might analyze the game's code to find vulnerabilities or create the cheat. Thinking in these three parts helps us dissect the attack lifecycle. It's a useful mental model. Moving on to another classic attack vector, phishing. This time, hitting a university. New universities are always targets. What kind of phishing were they seeing? They were pretty sophisticated. Emails pretending to be official notices, research evaluations, thesis defense invites, study abroad opportunities. New. Sneaky. Using academic jargon to trick people. Nan. Exactly. And the goal? To get users to click a link containing a Trojan. Once clicked, the hackers could steal the user's email login credentials. New. So, they'd get into the staff's emails and potentially sensitive student data? Precisely. A major risk of data leakage and further attacks. That sounds serious. Did they manage to get into the systems? Thankfully, the police acted fast. They identified the attack, collected samples of the malware, and traced the phishing emails. New. Phew. Good catch. But the damage could still be significant. Nan. Definitely. The initial assessment pointed towards a coordinated effort by a hacker group, possibly involving actors outside the country. It highlights the persistent threat of targeted attacks. New. Yeah. Cybersecurity isn't just a tech problem, it's a constant battle against evolving threats. So, what can regular users do to protect themselves from these Trojans? First, clean house. Get rid of any programs you don't recognize or don't need. Use antivirus scans to hunt down potential nasties. New. Makes sense. My computer's always clogged with random stuff I installed ages ago. Nan. Second, keep an eye on your ports. Know what's open and what traffic is going through. If you see weird activity, close the port. New. Like cutting off the enemy's supply lines. Exactly. And firewalls are your gatekeepers. Keep them enabled and configured properly. New. Plus, the golden rules. Download stuff from legit places, scan files before opening, and just don't click on dodgy links. Basic hygiene, but crucial. Now for something really specific. Cracking WeChat accounts. Apparently, there was a whole black market for reactivating banned accounts. New. Banned accounts? Why would someone want to do that? Telecom fraud, online gambling, those guys get banned often. They needed fresh accounts. And the main hurdle was WeChat's facial recognition. New. Facial recognition is supposed to be secure. How did they bypass it? They used face-swapping apps. Remember those filters that change your face? They could simulate actions like opening your mouth, blinking, or nodding, exactly what WeChat asks for during verification.
Just face swapping? That seems too easy. Nan, not quite. They also exploited a vulnerability in certain smartphones. They could root the phone, gaining full control. New, rooting. That's risky. Nan, extremely, but once rooted, they could automate the process. When the user started the WeChat reactivation and hit the facial recognition step, the phone would automatically trigger the camera and play a pre-recorded video from the gallery. New, a pre-recorded video.
So, they just needed a decent photo or video of the person's face. Exactly. If the video quality was good enough, WeChat would accept it. They managed to reactivate over 10,000 accounts and made a fortune. Scary stuff.
Okay, this face swapping thing definitely makes me think twice about clicking any random app link. Nan, absolutely. The lesson is clear, be super cautious. Don't click on links promising cool filters or face swaps unless you're 100% sure. New. And don't just dump your info on every website that asks for it. Privacy is precious. Nan, totally. Strong passwords, different ones for each site, and update everything regularly. Patch management is key. New, and run scans. Don't let your defenses get rusty.
So, wrapping it all up, it's a pretty mixed bag of threats from big tech snooping to clever social engineering and hardware exploits. New, definitely. It shows how interconnected everything is. One weak link, and the whole chain breaks. Nan, precisely. Stay informed, stay cautious, and keep those security basics top of mind. New, couldn't agree more. Vigilance is the name of the game.